मैं दरख्वास्त करूँगा सैयद जलाल शाह साहब से कि वो ये करारदाद पढ़ लें।
Thank you, Speaker Sahab. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa qul rabbi akhilni mudkhala sidqin wa akhrijni mukhraja sidqin waj'al li min ladunka sultanan nasira. And say, my Lord, let my entry be good and likewise my exit be good, and grant me from you a helping authority. जितने भी मुअज़्ज़िज़ अरकान आज इस महफिल में मौजूद हैं, मैं आपकी मुतवज्जा चाहूँगा क्योंकि एक ये जॉइंट हम लोग बिल है, इसको रेजोल्यूशन है, इसको पास करने जा रहे हैं और ये थोड़ा सा लंबा है, तो bear with me. Joint resolution on granting provisional provincial status to the Gilgit-Baltistan. Whereas the people of Gilgit-Baltistan liberated their territory from the rule of former princely state of Jammu and Kashmir in 1947 and subsequently acceded to Pakistan. And whereas, following the administrative reform initiated during the government of Shaheed Zulfikar Ali Bhutto in the 1970s, successive federal government continued to deliberate upon constitutional mechanism for the progressive integration of Gilgit-Baltistan into the national constitutional framework, including proposal aimed at ultimately extending to its people the same constitutional right and status enjoyed by the federation units of Pakistan. And whereas President Asif Ali Zardari, through the promulgation of Gilgit-Baltistan Empowerment Act 2009, constituted a significant milestone by establishing an elected legislative assembly and enhancing self-governance, while simultaneously reaffirming that further constitutional advancement of the region remained an objective of the state. In light of the special directives given by Mia Muhammad Nawaz Sharif, the recommendations of Sartaj Aziz Committee led to the promulgation of Gilgit-Baltistan Order 2018, under which the GB Assembly was granted legislative power equivalent to those of other 4 provincial assemblies of Pakistan. Furthermore, the House appeals to the federal government to implement the recommendations of Sartaj Aziz Committee by granting Gilgit-Baltistan the status of provisional province, so that the people of Gilgit-Baltistan, like the citizens of other provinces, may elect representatives of the National Assembly and secure representations at national level, such as the Senate. Until Gilgit-Baltistan is granted provisional provincial status, this House also appeals to the federal government and the governments of all 4 provinces to support the inclusion of Gilgit-Baltistan in the NFC award, taking into account all relevant indicators, and to ensure the people of Gilgit-Baltistan receive equitable representation and their rightful share in the national resources. And whereas India's unilateral action on the 5th of August 2019, including the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A of the Constitution of India and the recognition of reaggregation of the internationally disputed territory of Jammu and Kashmir, were rejected by Pakistan as being contrary to the relevant United Nations Security Council resolution and international laws. And whereas, in the aftermath of these developments, the government of Pakistan initiated renewed consultation regarding the constitutional integration of Gilgit-Baltistan, while ensuring that any further constitutional agreements would remain fully consistent with Pakistan's international obligation and principled stance on Jammu and Kashmir dispute. And whereas constitutional proposals subsequently advanced by Federal Minister of Law and Justice, Dr. Farooq Naseem, including the proposed constitutional amendment relating to the provisional provincial status of Gilgit-Baltistan, reflected the board national consensus that the people of Gilgit-Baltistan should be granted constitutional right, democratic representation and equal protection under the Constitution without prejudice of Pakistan's international commitments. And whereas the successive government of political parties, including the views of recently articulated by Chairman Bilawal Bhutto Zardari in the National Assembly, have recognized the need to provide the people of Gilgit-Baltistan with constitutional rights and democratic representations, same as those enjoyed by citizens of rest of Pakistan. Therefore, it is resolved that Gilgit-Baltistan shall be granted status of provincial province of Pakistan through appropriate constitutional amendments and enabling legislations. The grant of provisional province status shall be without prejudice to Pakistan's international commitments and legal position regarding the Jammu and Kashmir dispute, and shall not affect the final disposition of the territory in accordance with the relevant resolution of United Nations and any further plebiscite or settlement. The people of Gilgit-Baltistan shall be accorded the same constitutional, political and democratic rights as enjoyed by the citizens of other provinces of Pakistan, including representation in National Assembly, Senate and other federal constitutional institutions. Appropriate constitutional safeguard shall be incorporated to ensure that the provincial status remains subject to any further settlement of Jammu and Kashmir dispute in accordance with wishes of people concerned and Pakistan international obligations. The federal government shall initiate the consultation with stakeholders of Gilgit-Baltistan, the necessary constitutional, legal and administrative measures for the implementation of this resolution. Be it further resolved that the Parliament of Pakistan affirms its commitment to ending the constitutional and democratic deprivation of the people of Gilgit-Baltistan and ensuring their full participation in political, economic and constitutional life of the Federation of Pakistan, while preserving Pakistan's historic and principled position on the Jammu and Kashmir dispute. Henceforth, the resolution is requested to be passed by the Honorable Speaker, keeping in mind that none of Kashmir's issue in the international forum is disturbed, and also keeping in mind that while this is being implemented, the NFC award and shares for Gilgit-Baltistan may be granted to Gilgit-Baltistan. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.